Hey everybody, Yogi here. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. It's 11:26 a.m. and I'm currently sitting in the Allenton, and I'm sitting here in Allenton. The park ride lot. Supposed to meet my sister here at 11 a.m. And now it's 11:26. She did text me though saying, look forward to seeing you at 11:15 to 11:30. That's not 11. I was already on the way, so it's like, well, I'm not going back home. Hopefully they'll get here soon. They do have to drive from Appleton, which is about 60 miles, so when they do, we will film their arrival. We're going to do some poking around today. That's what Chucky likes to call it, poking around. And it's going to be Chucky, myself, her daughter Jessica, and her grandson Carter Blaze, all of which have been featured on this channel before. We got some plans, some ideas, do some poking around. They actually want to start a YouTube channel themselves, so they were asking me for advice. And I'm like, you want to succeed? Don't ask me. But yeah, they want to do some filming today, and I gave them some ideas, so we'll take a look. We'll do some poking around, and I will film their arrival whenever that is. Currently listening to the audiobook A Life with Ghosts by Steve Gonzalez of Ghost Hunters fame. Yeah, he's got an audiobook or a book out called A Life with Ghosts. Interesting little insight into the investigations he's done over the years. This park ride lot for a Sunday is busy. Here they come. Dun 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 dun. That's them. There they are. Chucky, Jesse, and Carter Blaze, ladies and gentlemen. So I look forward to seeing you at 11:15 to 11:30.
You should see how bad it is up by me. They're tearing everything up.
Today we are in Whitewater. Whitewater is a city located in Jefferson and Walworth counties. And the reason we're here, it's kind of going to be a paranormal type episode. Whitewater is known as Second Salem. Now it's got to do with witches, it's got to do with haunted books, it's got to do with spooky graveyards, the layout of the graveyards. There's a lot of stuff here in Whitewater that's kind of been paranormal. There was a gentleman by the name of Morris Pratt who ran an Institute of Spirituality, and it was kind of like a college back in the late 1800s, and that was located here. We are at Starren Park right now, and Starren Park has this really cool attraction here. Let me turn the camera around so you can see it. This is the Starren Park Water Tower. Now, it's a very interesting water tower, as you can tell. It's built with limestone on the first 5 floors, 5 stories. And then it's got that steel tank up on top there. And it has this fence around. And there's a reason, supposedly the reason why this fence is around here is to keep the witches in. Apparently there's witches inside this water tower. It says here that there's inward facing spikes on the fencing to keep the witches in. The spikes do not look pointed inward. I don't know what they're talking about there. It is a cool old fence, though. There's also in town here a library on the UW Whitewater campus, University of Wisconsin Whitewater campus, that supposedly has a book that's so haunted that it's driven people to commit suicide, and it's also driven people mad. Therefore, they have it locked away. Now, this water tower was constructed in 1889. That's also the same year that Morris Pratt started his spirituality college. There's also a legend of a witch named Mary Worth, which people have probably heard about, who was supposedly cursed the town. And there's also underground tunnels and claims of paranormal activity happening within the triangle formed by the town's 3 cemeteries. Now, what I'm telling you right now, this information is located on a website called Wisconsin Frights by my friend Charlie Hintz. So if you want to check out Wisconsin Frights and learn more, about Whitewater and its spookiness. They actually do have a tour in October, like 2 days every year, where you do get access to go into the water tower. But other than that, it's pretty much off limits. You can't really see it, go inside of it, I believe, except for those 2 nights. I did read that there was some talk about the city or the county, what to do with the tower. Like it was on a ballot, a referendum, to save it or to just stop funding it. And I don't know the outcome of it, but it is a pretty cool thing nonetheless. I've heard some pretty other different things about this particular tower. Whether they're true or not, I don't know. I heard that one guy went crazy and climbed up the tower and was just doing all sorts of crazy things in the tower. I tried to look for information on it. Don't know if it actually happened or not, but that's just a legend I heard, that somebody was kind of doing some crazy things inside the tower. And I believe that's the reason why they put the fencing up around it. Comment below if you know the actual story, or you can fill me in and let me know about what actually happened here. Now, apparently when it was first built, they had a walk-around section where you could go out and actually walk around the water tower, kind of like a balcony. It was the tallest building in Whitewater for a very long time, or the tallest structure in Whitewater for a very long time. There is a storyboard over here that we're going to check out. We'll read that real quick. It's got some more information. So here's a storyboard. The Star and Park Water Tower, 1889. See, there's the actual right there, the observation deck. You came out that one door and you walked up some stairs and you could walk around the whole thing. It was like a platform right there. As of 2020, the Star and Park Water Tower is the second oldest operating municipal water tower in the state of Wisconsin. The tower was built in 1889. When originally built, it was a private utility. It was turned over to the city in 1912. The 80-foot tall stone masonry supports the steel 20-foot tall water tank. The limestone octagonal base of the tower is 8 foot thick, and as the structure goes up, it tapers to 4 foot thick walls where the stone masonry meets the steel tank. The tank holds approximately 185,000 gallons of water. The location was chosen because it sits 50 feet higher than the surrounding area. At the time the water tower was completed, it was the highest built structure in the city. The original design had a wood observation deck around the outside. It was most likely open to the public when originally built. You could kind of see there was a photo here that showed the inside, but unfortunately that's been peeled away. And here's the lore of the water tower. Legend has it that witches are drawn to the tower because it is centrally placed within a triangular pattern formed by the community cemeteries. The lore of the witches presumably stems from the Spiritualism movement. There's a lot of confusion between who the spiritualists were and what they were doing as opposed to other occult practices. Many of the spiritualist mediums were women. They were engaging in non-traditional activities for women, so making that step from mediums to witches was easy for some people to take. The water tower is established in the city the same year that the Morris Pratt Institute, a spiritualist college established in the city of Whitewater. This likely is what spurred the lore of the witches of Whitewater. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check out some other areas of Whitewater. Maybe check out the downtown. I'll tell you about the demographics. We'll try to find out where this Morris Pratt Institute once stood. I don't think the building's still there, but we're going to go look. We're going to go do some poking around. So we are at Hillside Cemetery, currently looking for the Morris Pratt and Mary Worth plots. Rumor has it that Mary Worth was actually laid to rest in a receiving vault. But look at this, Van Voorhees. Jason Voorhees. Are you in there, Jason? Can't even see what the dates are. Well, 1890. It's all been bricked in for eternity. Pretty cool. So this is kind of interesting. Built into a hillside.
There's a huge hole over here on the groundhog.
Oh, there's a reason they call it hillside, huh?
Martin, McCartney. There's just one with green and cream.
Look at this one, gray. You can walk up and actually the crypt's right here. Wow. There's a little bench.
Oh, some soldiers. Rest in peace.
That's a beautiful view.
Hey, Yogi, what's the grave name again that you're looking for?
Oh, they're starring. I wonder if they had something to do with the tower. It says starring. Or the park. Boy, they call it Hillside Park for a reason, boy. Whew. This thing is steep.
Go bounce.
Hey folks, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share. They're all free to do. You can also become a member on this channel. You can become a member on Patreon by going to www.patreon.com/roadtripswithyogi. And you can help support the channel that way. Or you can become a member on this YouTube channel. Tiers start at $3 a month. And for literally the price of a king-size candy bar, you can help support this channel. And I would greatly appreciate it. So consider doing those things if you like what you see here. Okay, folks? Now back to the video. Still at Hillside Cemetery in Whitewater. I've pretty much given up looking for the Pratt grave. I know that Lori and Jesse are still looking. Here's the public holding receiving area. And look at that. The doors are open just a little bit. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. What's in there? Yeah, that's not creepy. Public. So this is where they put the bodies until their burial after it thawed. Now, there are rumors that Mary Worth might be in here, in this area. You decide. But I'll tell you this much. I've scoured a bunch of this cemetery, and it is, when they say hillside, they're not kidding. This cemetery is on a very, very steep hill. And I'm worn out. I'm worn out looking for Pratt. It would have been nice to find it. Maybe at some point we will. But I don't want to spend too much time looking here. I was going off of the gravestone that's on Find a Grave to try to find it. But there's really nothing in the picture that gives it away. Like, okay, it's there. It's a very big cemetery. And even with 4 of us here, it's just a lot. In Wauwatosa, if you want to go look for Les Paul's grave, there's signs everywhere telling you where it is. Maybe they don't want people to know it's here and don't want you to find it. I don't know. But like I said, Les Paul's grave, you could find it no problem. And for those of you who don't know who Les Paul is, think of the Gibson Les Paul. He was the inventor of like the electronic guitar. The electric guitar, if you will. played by millions of musicians all over the world. The Les Paul. Maybe we just didn't go far enough and it's on the other side. I don't know. But a fruitless search at the Hillside Cemetery here in Whitewater, Wisconsin. Ah!
Did you find it?
I found a marker that says Pratt. I just happened to turn my head. I don't know if this is the one though. Yes, it is. It looks a lot bigger in the picture, but it's just a small headstone. So I just turned my head as I was talking to him. The Pratt marker. Pratt. Pratt. And right here, it says, you can barely read it, scientific spiritualist, and it's got the dates. But that's where Morris Pratt rests in peace. You know, I'm kind of surprised that you don't see any like things left behind for Morris. I find that very interesting. Well, we found it. The Pratts. Okay. The Pratt family has been found at Hillside Cemetery in Whitewater, Wisconsin. So that's downtown Whitewater, right over there. This is some little pond area. They got like a river walk and a park over there. We are in downtown Whitewater, Wisconsin. Beautiful little downtown area. I love the buildings and the architecture here. So neat. We got La Piazza Pizzeria. It's a Sunday, so a lot of these places aren't even open. But it's a beautiful downtown area. Look at those beautiful buildings there. You got Ketterhagen Ford down the road there. Right over there is the Whitewater, I don't know what that is. Armory? That's the Whitewater Armory down there. Whitewater was found at the confluence of Whitewater Creek and Spring Brook and named after the white sand in their beds. A grist mill was built on Whitewater Creek, the resulting pond now called Cravath Lake. The town grew quickly when the first railroad line in Wisconsin passed through in 1853, but struggled when the two largest employers left town. Whitewater was originally founded entirely by settlers who arrived here from New England. All right, let's talk about some demographics, shall we? As of the 2020 census, there were 14,889 people, 4,767 households, and 1,806 families. Racial makeup, 78.8% white, 4.2% African American, 0.5% Native American, 2.5% Asian, and 0.04 Pacific Islander, 7.2 from other races, and 6.4 from two or more races. Median age of the city, 21.6 years. That would be because Whitewater is a huge college town. The University of Whitewater is the reason why the median age is 21.6. The gender makeup of the city, 50.9% male and 49.1% female. So actually pretty close. Home of Touched by a Paw. Ooh, look at that Schwinn, 1952 Schwinn Hornet and a Schwinn Debutante. Wow. Ain't that cool? Check this bike out. Look at that baby. Wow. What does it say? Diamondback? That's a Diamondback? Wow. That's a cool bike. Median income for a household in the city, $31,600. Males had a median income of $33,078 versus $22,431 for females. About 10.6% of families and 27.4% of the population were below the poverty lines, including 17.3% of those under age 18 and 4.2% of those 65 and older. Let's talk about some notable people. There are some. Stephen Ambrose, author and historian. He was born in 1936, passed away in 2002. He was most noted for his books on World War II and the biographies of U.S. Presidents Dwight D. Eisenhower and Richard Nixon. He actually was not born here. He was raised here in Whitewater, and he went to Whitewater High School. Next, we have George Oswald, born in 1880, died in 1959. He was a prominent Norwegian-American architect in the first half of the 20th century. His eclectic progressive portfolio included neoclassical Gothic revival, Prairie School, and international style designs. Now again, this is another guy who wasn't born here. When he was 3 years old, they settled here in Whitewater. So he was born in Norway and he settled here at the age of 3. We've got Edward Curtis, born in 1868, died in 1952. He was an American photographer whose work focused on the American West and Native American people. Sometimes referred to as the shadow catcher, Curtis traveled the United States to document and record the dwindling ways of life of various native tribes through photographic and audio recordings. He was actually born here in Whitewater. We got Ben Heller, who was born in 1991. He's a professional baseball pitcher in the Chicago Cubs organization. He has previously played in Major League Baseball for the Yankees, New York Yankees, Atlanta Braves, and Pittsburgh Pirates. He's got a win-loss record of 2-1, earned run average 4.65, and strikeouts 61. Bats right, throws right. There's the Second Salem Brewing Company and the Wisconsin Dairy Supply Company with cows on the side. Dale Markham, born in 1957, is a former player in the National Football League for the New York Giants and St. Louis Cardinals. He played at the collegiate level at the University of North Dakota. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs, the Giants, the Cardinals, and he played up in Canada for Winnipeg. And then he was with the Oakland Invaders. And then he finished in 1985 as a member of the Green Bay Packers. We have Edward Francis O'Donnell, April 30th, 1887 to 1920, he was an American race car driver. He gained fame for competing for the Duesenberg team. He won 3 races. He had 14 podiums. He did die during a race. He was fatally injured when he and Gaston Chevrolet collided during the Beverly Hills Speedway Classic race on Thanksgiving Day, 1920. Chevrolet was killed as well. And that's going to do it. There's actually more people on the notable people, but a lot of them were not born here. A lot of them were either went to college here or grew up here, so I'm not going to include those people. Ooh, look at that, nice little doggy. That's it for demographics and notable people in Whitewater, Wisconsin. I think we're going to be done here in Whitewater. A very nice little downtown area. Very nice. Over there we got Root Salon, Fat Jack's. Again, it's a Sunday, so nothing's open.